Alright, it's query time. In the previous video, we discussed queries. But what exactly is a query? A query is essentially an instruction or a question. In English, a query is a question. And in SQL, a query is how we frame our questions to the database to get the answers we need. A query is also known as an SQL statement. These terms are synonymous: query equals SQL statement and SQL statement equals query. They mean the same thing. So let's dive into an explanation of the terms query and SQL statement and how they are used interchangeably. Look at this query which says select asterisk from employee. What does that mean? Let's break down the statement or query and its components. The first component in this statement is select, which is a SQL keyword used to indicate that you want to retrieve data from a database. It starts the query and specifies what data you want to select. The second component that we have in this statement is an asterisk. The asterisk is a wildcard character in SQL that means everything or all columns. When we use an asterisk in a select statement, it tells the database to retrieve all columns of data from the specified table. Finally, we have from employee. This clause specifies the source of the data you want to retrieve. From is another SQL keyword used to indicate the table from which to select the data. Employee is the name of the table from which you want to retrieve the data. If we put all components together, it means that we can retrieve all columns and rows of data from the table named employee in the database. Here's a step-by-step breakdown. Select means to start the query to retrieve data. Asterisk means to select all columns in the table. From employee means to specify that the data should be retrieved from the employee table. And this query will return every piece of data stored in the employee table. So select asterisk from employee means get all the information from the employee table. When we run select asterisk from employee in our DB fiddle, we'll get all the data stored in the employee table, such as employee IDs, names, last names, dates of birth, sex, and roles. Now, if we want to narrow down our query to only retrieve specific information, we can modify it. For example, if we only want to get the names of the employees, we would write select name from employee. This query tells the database to return only the name column from the employee table. Let's add a condition to our query to make it more specific. For instance, if we want to get the names of employees who are managers, we would write select name from employee, where role is equal to manager. In this example, select name is a clause which tells the database to return only the name column. Also, from employee is another clause which specifies the table we are querying, and where role is equal to manager is a condition which adds a condition to filter the results, so we only get the names of employees whose role is manager. A condition is a part of the query that specifies which rows should be returned based on certain criteria. The where keyword is used to filter the data, and role is equal to manager is the specific condition we're applying. Here, name is an identifier, meaning it's a specific part of the data we want to retrieve. Let's run this query. When we execute it, we get the names of employees who are managers, such as John, Jill, Jack, Jade, and Joan. Also, we can verify this by running the original query, select asterisk from employee, and checking that these employees indeed have the role of manager or not. And if we want to filter by a different role, like developers, we can modify our query to select name from employee where role is equal to developer. Now run this query. You can see that we get the names of employees with the developer role, such as Jane, Julie, Joe, Jordan, Joel, and Joy. To sum up, we've learned how to write simple queries and break them down into their components. Each query consists of different parts called clauses, and we've seen how to use conditions to filter our results. By practicing writing and running queries in dbfiddle, you'll get a better understanding of how to interact with databases using SQL. And SQL is a declarative language, meaning we declare what we want the database to do, and it responds with the results. Understanding the different parts of a query is a powerful skill that will help you effectively retrieve and manipulate data in your databases. Let's dive deeper into the declarative nature of SQL in the next video.